This one. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending our conference this afternoon. I will take you through the highlights of the presentation. Start moving. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting the tech right. Let me first of all thank you all for taking the time out and participating in our conference. I hope you are all safe and in good health. Today is a significant day for us at the Piramal Group. It is a defining milestone in the Indian financial services sector as we paid the consideration for the acquisition of DHFL. This acquisition creates one of the leading housing finance companies in India focused on affordable housing. The merged entity will be focused on affordable segment. The merger should take place in the next couple of weeks, and it will address the diverse financing needs of the underserved Bharat market through its India-wide platform. The transaction will lead to growth and diversification for Piramal. The retail AUM increases by nearly 5 times, and lending will be 50-50 to the retail and wholesale mix in the near future. From the medium to the long-term horizon, we plan to have a share of retail AUM going up to 2/3 of the total book. In terms of scale, post the merger, we will have access to over 1 million customers and presence in 301 branches across 24 states of India. Looking at the customer profile, the average ticket size of the retail loan book will be nearly 17 lakhs, and around 38% of the total retail loans by volume will be rupees 10 lakhs or below. In terms of DHFL's retail portfolio quality, the market value of security against loans is 2.6 times, and 78% of the total credit loans are towards fully constructed properties. 90% of the retail loan book is with loan-to-value ratio of less than or equal to 75%. On the liability side, as part of this transaction, we have raised 19,550 crores through 10-year NCDs at a coupon rate of 6.75%. Hence, post-merger, our borrowing costs will come down by 130 basis points in comparison to FY21. Go into some details about this transaction. This transaction marks a successful closure of the first resolution under the IBC route in the financial services sector. It sets a precedent for future resolutions. In value terms, the transaction is amongst the largest resolutions till date. There were 5 rounds of bidding in this and a lot of competition from both international as well as local Indian companies. But we are very happy that 94% of the creditors voted in favor of Piramal's resolution plan. of this transaction, the necessary approvals have been got. The approvals are a testament to the faith reposed by various stakeholders in our group, our core values, and the future roadmap. We have now made the payment of the consideration amount. We will merge PCHFL and DHFL, and the merged entity will be called Piramal Capital and Housing Finance Limited. PCHFL is a 100% subsidiary of Piramal Enterprises. The creditors of DHFL, including the fixed deposit holders, would recover an aggregate amount of approximately 38,000 crores from the resolution process. The amount comprises of approximately 34,250 crores to be paid by PCHFL as a combination of cash and NCDs, and an amount of approximately 3,800 crores, which is the entitlement of creditors as per the resolution plan from the cash balance available with DHFL. There were 70,000 creditors of DHFL, and most of them are recovering approximately 46% of their pending dues through the successful completion of this process. The total consideration paid by PCHFL is 34,250 crores, of which about 14,700 crores is in an upfront cash component, and approximately 19,550 crores is through the NCDs, 10-year NCDs. I'd now like to take you through the strategic rationale of this transaction. The merged entity combines Piramal's financial strength, our core values, our institutional credibility, and our wholesale book with DHFL's geographic footprint and the distribution network. This acquisition will provide us with a huge scale, a pan-India network, and an existing pool of over 1 million customers. We will address various financing needs of customers in the Bharat market. This is represented by Indian budget-conscious customers at the periphery of metros and in tier 1, 2, and 3 cities. Over the next 3 or 4 years, we want to be present in about 1,000 locations in the country, and we plan to hire at least 1,000 more people in the near to mid-term to further augment the franchise, expand the scope of the existing DHFL branches from single product to multi-product offerings. It helps us in transforming our business from a largely wholesale-led to a well-diversified financial services player. The share of retail loans will be moving closer to 2/3 in the medium to the long-term range. On the liability side, as I said, the transaction will not only reduce our cost of borrowing, but also further improve our ALM profile. A well-diversified and granular loan book with improved earnings predictability should help narrowing the borrowing cost gap with other AA+ rated peers. Our financial services business is more than adequately capitalized. There is no need to add any further allocation of equity capital from PEL to our financial services business for this transaction. This deal helps us to significantly improve the utilization of equity in our financial services business. Low leverage, even after this transaction, indicates sufficient capital for growth for the next 5 years. The merged entity will be 100% owned by Piramal Enterprises and will get access to over 1 million customers with an enhanced presence across 24 states and a network of 301 branches. And this will help us create one of the leading housing finance companies focused on the affordable housing. The merged entity will have an enhanced presence with an employee base of 2,300 in retail lending across India. Our portfolio is a combination of self-employed individuals, cash salaried individuals, and small business owners. This is a brief overview of the transaction and the strategic rationale, and I'm happy to take any questions you have.
Thank you, Mr. Piramal. We will now move to the Q&A session. Please use the raise hand option in the Zoom interface to ask your question. You will have to unmute yourself as your name is announced. Also, please introduce yourself and state the name of the publication before going ahead with your question. Due to time constraints, we would request all the attendees to please restrict to 1 or 2 questions. We'll start in a few moments. Request you to unmute yourself and go ahead with the question, please.
Hello. Hello,
Yeah,
am I
go
audible?
ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, sir, I want to understand the figure posted are the upfront cash payment is 14,700.
Can you please, Deepak, introduce yourself? Where are you from, please?
Yes, sir, I am from Calcutta. My name is Deepak Chamadia, and I am one of the FD holder.
But I think this is a press conference, Deepak. We'll take your question later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. You inform me, sir.
Let's confine this to the media, please.
Sure. Beena, please, Beena Parmar, please go ahead.
Hi, sir. I'm Beena from VC Circle. I just want to know, will there be any changes in the senior management, and could you throw some light on, what kind of considerations will be in terms of payments beyond the cash, upfront cash?
We are not envisaging any changes in the senior management of DHFL, if that's the question. We have a team of people both in Piramal as well as DHFL, and we will all work together to see that the integration is a success. I didn't understand your second question. Whatever is the cash payment has been outlined in the resolution plan, and we will follow that.
All right, thanks.
Could you unmute yourself and go ahead with your question?
Yeah, I'm an FD holder.
As I said, please restrict. This is for the media, so we will talk to you separately.
Vishwanath Nair. Vishwanath Nair, can you please go ahead?
Yeah, hi, Mr. Piramal, Vishwanath from BloombergQuint. Just wanted to get a sense. You said that you're going to be one of the largest affordable housing player in the market. It's a very crowded market with a lot of lenders actually chasing that, from the top till the bottom. And right now, banks are offering probably the lowest rates out there. Just wanted to get a sense how you aim to be competitive in such a market.
So, Vishwanath, if you look at it, the banks are not, they are not as present in the tier 2, 3 cities. Even now, DHFL had a strong presence there. It is the leading company then, and we continue to only grow and further increase it. Yes, the rates, but in the tier 2 and 3 cities, the rates are not as competitive. These are more in the metro, the tier 1 cities that you find such competitive rates. And we will use technology. We will ensure that we are competitive. We will remain in this market and be competitive with the spread that we have as far as distribution is concerned, with technology that we are using to understand the quality of credit to give the customer a good experience. And if you look at our mix also, it is both the majority of the people we are lending to are non-salaried people. So that is one of the strengths that we have. And we are just further strengthening the system to ensure that we do well in that.
Next question, Falak. Falaknaz, you can go ahead with your question, please.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to understand
Please
as to
introduce
the other
yourself.
the sectors that you're looking at. For example, insurance, AMC. What are your plans to expand in financial services business for other sectors? And also, next 5 years, how do you plan to grow this business? Could you give some details?
Can you just say from where you are, please?
Yes, I'm from Deccan Chronicle.
So our focus today, our primary focus is going to be in increasing our lending book. And the sectors that today, basically, as far as the retail, to do a mix of both retail and wholesale. And to move the retail book to almost 50-50 in the near term, and in the medium to long term to 2/3, 1/3. That's one. In retail, as well as in wholesale, whereas we are now majorly focused on real estate lending, we are going to go beyond real estate lending to other mid-sized corporates as far as wholesale is concerned. As far as retail is concerned, we are going into the small business loans, into the loans against property, into car financing. Key being, again, using technology at the core of what we are doing. Besides that, we do have a investment. We have a subsidiary in life insurance. It is a partnership with Pramerica of the US, and we are seeing what we will do with that. The future of that business, we are still evaluating. At the moment, we do not have plans to go in for other AMC and so on.
Thank you.
Friends, one request, kindly introduce yourself and state the publication name before going ahead with the question. Next one, Mr. Atmadeep Ray.
Namaskar. I'm Atmadeep from Economic Times. I would like to know that what would be your gross loan portfolio at present, and how much of it comes from the DHFL, and where do you see yourself in the 2 years down the line?
So the portfolio numbers, we are still working out with the auditors. We will let you know in the very, very near future. As far as the existing portfolio of PCHFL is about 45,000 crores.
That is for DHFL, 45,000 crores.
No, DHFL, we'll let you know because the auditors are just working on the numbers. But in the ballpark of 65,000 crores will be the total portfolio.
Okay, and 45,000 crores is from?
So between the two, we'll be in that region. I'm saying about 65,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question we can have from Alec, Informist.
Hi, sir. This is Alec from Informist Media. So you spoke about 130 basis point your savings in terms of your borrowing, and you also said that in tier 3 the rates are not really competitive. Could you help us understand what is the ticket size in the affordable housing space as of now, and if that changes, and also on the rates, because if would you be looking to pass on that benefit of borrowing cost to your borrowers in those geographies?
So the average ticket size today that we have overall is 17 lakhs as far as the DHFL portfolio is concerned. A majority in terms of number of customers that we have their average portfolio is 10 lakhs and below. And we want to continue in this range. Maybe perhaps that's what the range will be. The cost of borrowing, it will really depend on the risk that we perceive in the market and with each customer. So it's very difficult to say what we will do at the present moment.
What is the average lending rate at the moment?
As I said, it will come down by 130 basis points because of this. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Next question from PR Sanjay. Kindly unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm Subhashri from Bloomberg News. I'm speaking on behalf of my colleague Sanjay. Mr. Piramal, I wanted to understand two things from you. One is the wholesale book, the wholesale portfolio of the DHFL loan book. Is there any plan to kind of hive it off or sell it off, or what is the plan of the wholesale book? How will Piramal handle that part of the business? And secondly, we understand that there were some guarantees and letters of comfort or credit. I'm not sure if you can clarify that from some banks for funding this upfront cash payment for Piramal. If you can just give us some clarity on the funding details. Thanks.
So as far as the first thing is concerned, as far as the wholesale portfolio of DHFL, I think we already in Piramal have a good wholesale portfolio of real estate loans and other loans. So our focus is not going to be on DHFL's wholesale loans. So over a period of time, we will see how we will sell these down. So that will be our focus, will be to bring down the wholesale as far as DHFL is concerned and to build on the retail. The funding was at the time of the bid, we had taken some letters of comfort or whatever you call that from banks. But today, because of the existing sources of funding that we have and so many other banks participating, we are not using that. It's a mix of our current cash that we had and the bank and the other facilities that we already continue to enjoy.
And are you going to are you going to borrow anything extra from the promoter's entity? Any more borrowing plan apart from this?
No, there's no other borrowing plan.
Not even outside the DHFL business. I'm just talking from a promoter's entity. Any further plans of borrowing, Mr. Piramal?
No, there are no plans for borrowing.
Okay, thank you. That's it from me.
Next question from Krishna.
Hello, sir. This is Krishna Himojan from IFR, Refinitiv. So I am seeing Piramal Enterprise being very active in the bond market ever since this acquisition has happened. So in January, you all raised nearly 4,000 crore in two tranches, and then 1,000 crore via public issue of bonds recently, and there is approval to raise another 400 crores. I think total would be 6,000 to 7,000 crores from different forms of bonds that you all have raised. So wanted to understand, is this fundraising for expansion, and will you all continue to tap the public bond route to raise money?
So this will be a continuous process of raising bonds because what is our strategy as far as our treasury and fundraising is concerned? One is we want to diversify the sources of the funds that we can get access to. Second is to improve the ALM distribution. And the third is to ensure that the rates keep our cost of borrowing comes down. And that is why we will continue to do a mix of them, and bonds is an important part of that.
Thank you, sir.
Next question from Lalatendu Mishra.
Good afternoon, Ms. Piramal. This is Lalatendu from the Hindu. Congratulations for this day. You're looking forward to a long time. So what is the total amount you have paid right now for clarity? Because you will be writing. The readers will be interested to know.
34,250 is what we from Piramal will be paying for this acquisition. The way it is divided is 19,550 is through debentures through, we have raised this money through NCDs. The balance is via. And the second thing is that the creditors will get about 38,000 because the balance, 3,800 crores is what was cash lying with, which was to the account of the creditors with DHFL today.
So the cash payment that you have made is 34,250 minus 19,550. That is the cash that you paid, and with this you have acquired DHFL.
Correct.
And now you'll be merging it in a week's time. That's what you said.
That's right.
And the second question is, now this is a mother of the acquisitions. Are you still open, or evaluating any further acquisitions? This is the last question, sir. Thank you.
So our key focus is to see that the integration of the DHFL's business and Piramal's business takes place successfully, which we are doing. On the other hand, we still have enough equity. Our debt equity ratio in Piramal Capital after this merger also will be 3.5:1. So we have headway. If there is a acquisition which is fits into our strategy and which is of a good value, then we could do it. Doesn't mean that we will do it, but we are always open to do it. Our focus, though, will be on doing the integration of DHFL.
Thank you so much, sir.
Next question, Anup Roy.
Yeah, sir, Anup here from Business Standard newspaper. Sir, the markets that you operate in, DHFL operates in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. These markets have been devastated by COVID. And the kind of borrowers that you have, they have been affected very badly. Do you expect a spurt in bad loans? And if so, how you will handle it? And also, what is the bad debt ratio right now for both you and DHFL?
So actually, that's an important question you've raised. But surprisingly, we have found that during this second wave, the collections that we are getting, and we are seeing the collections of DHFL as well in the last few months, they have been actually quite good. They have not been affected by the second wave as we would have thought it is. Also, please remember that housing loans is one loan which people do not want to default on. Whatever stress it is there would be probably in the unsecured loans, which is not where we are in. So I'm seeing that the collections from DHFL in the wave 2 have been actually very good. And the stress, if at all, will be in the unsecured loans. So we are not seeing that tendency as you would have, as we had also actually feared at the beginning of the second wave.
Sir, can you please give us some numbers? If you say collection, what is the collection efficiency like?
The collection numbers we'll give you separately, Anup. You can take it from our team. Yeah.
Right. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question from Ishan Shah.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Ishan Shah from Money Control. In the recent past, we have seen a lot of housing lenders and specific NBFCs tying up with banks on co-lending models for disbursing loans. So you all have any plans on co-lending of or co-origination of loans? Thank you so much.
Ishan, the reason why the co-lending takes place in our view is because either they do not have the distribution, the NBFCs, and they have to depend on banks, or very often they would also like to, the funding which comes from banks is also an important consideration. As far as we are concerned, I think on both these fronts, we are in a comfortable position. Whether it is the funding, as I already said, our debt equity is also 3.5:1 even today. And we do have enough funds available to lend. So we don't need co-lending with the banks on the one hand. Second thing, our distribution is also there with 300 branches with really 2,500 on our rolls plus people in our other companies. So almost 4,500 people on the street. So with feet on the street and funding, we don't need that.
Next question from Krishna Gopalan.
Good afternoon, sir. Congratulations on a wonderful transaction. Sir, this has been a long drawn-out deal. It's taken a lot of time.
Please introduce from where are you, Krishna?
Oh, my apologies. My name is Krishna Gopalan. I'm from Business Today. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the deal. Just one question. This has been a long drawn-out transaction with several complexities. Two questions. At any point, did you get a feeling that it won't go through? And the other one is, what was your plan B, sir?
So, I mean, our plan is to keep doing what is the best. As you know, there were 5 rounds that this bidding took place, and it took a long time. But we felt that with our understanding of the business, and we had used a lot of advanced AI and machine learning. We'd also gone into the field and done a lot of diligence. So we knew the quality of the asset pretty well. So we knew till what extent we can go. And we were confident that knowing our track record in the long term of having successfully done M&A, I think the COC was also satisfied that we would be the best, and we did give the highest bid, and therefore 94% of the people actually supported this bid. So I think, yeah, you go through these ups and downs in any transaction, and especially over a long time, but I think we've seen quite a few of these to know that this is part of the process.
So I'm assuming that there was a quiet sense of confidence from day one.
There was a quiet sense of confidence, and that we had to do our best and really work towards it.
Thank you very much. All the very best to you, sir.
Thank you.
Next question from Shruti Sonal.
Hi, my name is Shruti and I'm from Outlook Business. Mr. Piramal, during the presentation, you sort of mentioned the plans to hire about 1,000 people in the future, but that was sort of unclear. So could you just clarify the number and whether this is going to be like a near-term thing or something?
So yeah, it's going to be in the near term as well, Shruti, I think. Yes, it'll be the number which you have said. And it'll evolve. We want to grow the business. I think what I'm also trying to say is that we will increase the branches. I had also said that in the midterm, we will go from 300 to 1,000 branches. So
Right.
as we start recruiting people, as we start opening branches, we will add people to the mix. Because we are quite optimistic about the scenario.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sir, we have a follow-up question from Beena Parmar.
Hi, sir. I'm from VC Circle again.
Yeah.
Just wanted a follow-up question on the wholesale book. You said you want to bring it down. Is there any plan in terms of selling off the wholesale portfolios? Will you be looking at anything? Have you already worked on that?
We have not worked on it, but we will look to it, Beena. Let us say, I gave you the strategic direction. Is that the wholesale portfolio, let me clarify, of only DHFL, we will bring it down.
Okay. And is there any number that quantum that you're looking at? What kind of
No, not at the moment. We don't have that number.
All right. And just one more thing for clarification, you mentioned the 19,550 crore will be paid through NCDs, and the balance
is cash.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
We'll take last 2 questions. Krishna Merchant.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the follow-up question. I'm from IFR, Refinitiv, part of London Stock Exchange Group. I wanted to understand who are the holders of these NCDs, the one that you've mentioned, 19,550 crore, the 10-year, 6.75%. Who are the bond holders?
So the bond holders are actually the existing people who had bonds, who are holding bonds of DHFL. Before this resolution process, they are the ones who will continue to hold these bonds.
Okay, so they're holding it at a lower rate.
But these are new bonds. So the bonds were raised by DHFL earlier. They have been that has been sorted out. And now these are new bonds which are issued by Piramal, which they will hold.
Okay, so it's obviously at a lower rate, not at that rate that they were issued at.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully the credit quality is better.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Next question from PB Jaykumar.
You're on mute.
Sir, congratulations. I'm from Fortune India now. And my question is, what will be the impact of this transaction at the group level, especially in terms of top line as well as bottom line going forward?
So we'll share the numbers, but I think it'll be a significant plus, as you know. So let's just wait. We'll share the numbers with you. I can only say that the debt equity, the efficiency of the equity improves upon it. But let us give you forecast numbers a little later when I share it with everybody, Jay Kumar.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question from Brajesh Mishra.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Yes.
हाँ सर, ब्रजेश फ्रॉम जी बिजनेस। सर मेरा सवाल थोड़ी क्लैरिटी वाला है। एक तो ये था कि प्रेजेंटेशन में 3,800 करोड़ का एक अमाउंट आपने मेंशन किया था, वो क्या था? दूसरा ये है कि अगर ये सिंपली समझा सकें कि क्या कब तक DHFL का फुल कंट्रोल आपके हाथ में होगा? और तीसरा एक सवाल और था कि क्या आपको कहीं कोई आशंका इस बात की कि जो लिटिगेशन चल रहे हैं उससे कोई असर पड़ेगा?
तो पहला क्वेश्चन जो आपका था 3,800, ये जो प्रोसेस में था जब से नवंबर 2019 से ये एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर के कंट्रोल में थी। ये 3,800 उस समय से जो डिसाइड किया था कि ये पैसे बैंक के हैं और एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर उसको होल्ड कर रहे थे, तो वो उनके पास वापस चला जाए, वो उनके लिए चला जाएगा। ये रिकवरी का ही है DHFL के साथ। सेकंड क्वेश्चन आपका ये था कि कंट्रोल, बस अब कंट्रोल हो गया है और ये मर्जर जो प्रोसेस है, आज भी DHFL का जो पेमेंट हो गया तो उस समय से उस तरह से तो हमारा हो गया है, बट अब DHFL PCHFL का मर्जर में कुछ 2 हफ्ते लग सकते हैं। तीसरा क्वेश्चन आपका था कि कोई
लिटिगेशन
हो सकता है लिटिगेशन के कारण। वो अब लगता नहीं है, क्योंकि जो भी है विघ्न, जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं वो बिटवीन COC है और जो जिसका जो भी कंप्लेंट जिनके केसेस फाइल हुए हैं, और ये मैटर चल रहा है, लेकिन कोई भी कोर्ट ने कोई स्टे नहीं दिया है प्रोसीडिंग का कोर्ट। तो वी हैव एक्चुअली कंप्लीटेड द ट्रांजैक्शन।
अगर आप अलाउ करें तो एक छोटा सा सवाल और है, वो ये है कि नंबर ऑफ जो ब्रांचेस हैं, जो प्रेजेंस है, वो आपकी टोटल कितनी हो जाएगी, और क्या कहीं पे रैशनलाइज करने की भी जरूरत पड़ेगी जहाँ पे ब्रांचेस आसपास में हैं या बहुत बिजनेसेस वहाँ पे कम हैं, पहले ज्यादा थे DHFL के?
देखिए 300 ब्रांच DHFL की थी, हमारी 40 ब्रांच थी, क्योंकि हमारा रिटेल इतना बड़ा नहीं था। ये मुझे लगता नहीं कि लाइक्लीहुड है कि ज्यादा कोई ब्रांचेस का कोई कमी होगी। इनफैक्ट जैसे आप देखेंगे, जैसे मैंने कहा भी, हमारी तो यही प्लान है कि ये ब्रांचेस बढ़ाई जाए, पर 1-2 इधर किधर कोई थोड़ा एडजस्टमेंट करना हो उसका तो मैं नहीं कह सकता, तो स्टडी के बाद ही मालूम पड़ेगा।
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू।
Next question from Vishwanath Nair.
Hi, sir. Vishwanath from BloombergQuint again.
Yeah.
I had a quick question. So there's been a bunch of retail debenture holders who have been complaining about what is the future of the process, because apparently debentures came into their accounts and then they went out of their accounts. They're not entirely sure how this is going to go ahead.
That's done. Yeah, it's over now. It was a one-day process which had to be done. That was a procedure laid out.
The complaints are still going on, sir. That's why. I mean, I'm just looking at the social media.
Done.
Now
Now it's all done. I think if they'll must have got it or they'll get it. It's all secured. There's nothing unsecured.
Got it. Last point, DHFL had a fixed deposit license under which, of course, there were a bunch of fixed depositors. What is the future of that as far as Piramal is concerned? Is that coming to you? Do you intend to have it under you?
No. So as far as the RBI had clearly written when the resolution plan was there, that there will be the fixed deposit license of DHFL was cancelled after all the processes which, as you know, DHFL went through. Sure. So now it's a new process with the merged company, and at the appropriate time, we'll apply for it.
But you intend to have it? You want that?
We would like to have it, yes.
Okay. Fair enough, sir. That's all I have.
Yeah.
We'll have last question from Falakna Syed.
Hello, sir. This is Palak again from Deccan Chronicle. Actually, sir, I wanted to understand in this is Prudential International, if you look at the subsidiary DHFL Pramerica Life Insurance, is Prudential International keen on getting DHFL stake, or will you be selling to other investors, because that FDI has been hiked? So are they open to it, or would you be exiting the business? Or are there other players interested in taking your stake? Or will you hold?
So we have not yet. We will engage in serious discussion with Prudential or Pramerica, which is invested in us, and we will say, as of now, they have not expressed any interest to increase the equity, but I think discussions will take place. Let this process be completed, and that's what we would do after that.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. In case you have any further questions, you may write to Piramal's corporate to Piramal's communications team at piramalcorporate@adfactorspr.com. I'll repeat, Piramal Corporate.